All right, welcome back, everybody. Jumping really far ahead here because I wanted to make sure we cover organic farming because we didn't get a chance to in class. So we're going to run through this really fast. So the first question we have to ask ourselves, why is it that people buy organic food? Well, if we look at how commercial agriculture has changed, global agriculture has changed, we don't know where our stuff is coming from, we don't know what's going into it. We know there's tons of environmental issues with mass produced agriculture, losing water to irrigation, using man made fertilizers and pesticides, and it's, people are just questioning what's going into their food. So we've seen this huge influx of organic farming. But it's not just because people care all of a sudden about the environment that we see the rise of organic agriculture. So, looking at this, obviously organic farming really hasn't been like a huge stellar movement, but the fact is more and more people are turning to organic agriculture, and we're going to explore why. So the first reason is there's a demand for it. It makes it profitable. Consumers want an alternative to these massive commercial agriculture companies. They don't want the insecticides, the pesticides, the fertilizers, the GMOs, stuff like that. They choose not to have it whether they know it's good for them or not. The fact is that they don't want it. So now we have created an area where this can be profitable. And the fact is more and more people in the US are making more money so they can afford these organic products, because we know organic food is going to be more expensive, but people have a higher disposable income, so they can do it. Of course, people have a concern about the treatment of animals. We have seen examples of that, and I think everybody can agree that how animals are treated in commercial agriculture probably isn't a high priority on the list when it comes to having to get the food out to the people. Organic agriculture has become more appealing. And finally, we've seen supermarkets dedicated to organic food. We see them all around all the time. Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Publix has a Greenwise section. I think even Walmart has organic food. It's a fad and it's catching on. Second, organic agriculture takes better care of the land. The fact is that when you use organic agriculture, you're not pushing the land as much as you can, and then when it runs out of nutrients, you're not dumping a bunch of fertilizers on top. We're talking about sustainable agriculture, so we don't have an impact on the environment. And that also leads for more appeal and demand of organic agriculture because, people feel better about themselves. Now, this is a really interesting one. When we talked about agribusiness, we talked about how agribusinesses buy out small farms. And that is true. Small farms can't keep up. Commercial farms just do too much all the time. But small family farms can exist because now they have found a specialty food that they can create that mass consumer agriculture companies haven't quite filled yet. So these small farms know they can't compete with big businesses, so they switch to organic, and now they've found a way to make money again, and now they're not going to be bought out by big agribusiness. So small farms are switching to this not because they care about the environment or all of a sudden they want to be better. Really, it's just a money-making opportunity for them. So if we look at this chart and we talk about two apples, organic non-local versus conventional local, we obviously can see that the conventional ones are sold for less, but they can produce a whole lot more. But the idea is that maybe people are going to avoid that one because of the taste, or they're willing to spend a little more money because it does taste better and they know there's nothing going into it. Really, these are all just the appeals of organic agriculture.
I did not grow up on a farm. I had sort of a pretty typical suburban upbringing. Growing up, I didn't have an interest in farming. My dad kept a vegetable garden, and I don't think I ever helped him in the garden. After college, a friend sent my wife and myself a book by Wendell Berry, and through his fiction, I sort of fell in love with his vision of the good life, where one's life is all very integrated and very much blossoms out of the home. And farming really lends itself to that. You know, you walk out your front door and there's your work, which was really compelling, and that was the beginning. For someone that didn't grow up on a farm, we've made the typical mistakes and had the typical adventures. I believe the best kind of farming pays close attention to how nature works. Let me look at how nature works and try and mimic that in a way that is productive for food and land. Would a chicken want to live in a confined barn or on fresh grass twice a day? If you look at the chickens in both scenarios, it's pretty clear the chickens really thrive when they're raised in a way that mimics what they'd like to do if they were sort of still wild. It's critical. Otherwise, if you don't pay attention to how nature works, you're going to run into problems, and nature sort of always has the last word. Healthy animals make healthy food. That seems to me like just a very common sense conclusion. So if you're putting animals who would have died had they not been propped up on antibiotics inside your body, that can't be the best model. Being a farmer is really special because this is my office. You spend your day making animals happy. Every little task, they're mundane small tasks, but they all are satisfying because you get to do things that help the things around you thrive. The things about being a farmer that give me the most pride would be when I see the land is more fertile than it was before. So when I'm pulling chicken shelters across the field and I can see the grass that's now growing up from where the chicken shelter was is, this much taller and greener and thicker and lusher because of what we here at the farm and the chickens have done together, that makes me excited. When I'm an old man and if my dream comes true and I'm here and family is, taking over the business from me and I can measure how much better the land is, that will give me a lot of pride. I have no problem having motivation to do what I do. I have a problem stopping doing what I'm doing. I guess, for me, I just love the work. I love working outside. I love doing something that's so clearly beneficial to the animals, the land, the people around me. It's just very satisfying. I mean, when you get out there and you're working hard, it feels good. There's definitely times when I'm stressed out, but the thought never crosses my mind like, maybe I'm gonna go do something else. It's no, I'm gonna do this better. I think people should buy from local sustainable farms because it is the best thing for all parties involved. Through all of our decisions, we affect the world we leave behind and the world we create. If you support large industrial or even industrial organic farms, that's the kind of world you're supporting and creating. Or do you want to create a world where there's beautiful farms that are right in their backyard, where there's a viable, noble business for that farmer, where the land is becoming more and more fertile and therefore the food's becoming more and more healthy? Do we want to support the people who are doing things right and contribute to that kind of world?
And then finally, what you saw in the video is a very heartwarming video about a small farm talking about the benefits of organic farming and appealing to people, saying that you should shop or go through small farms because you know where the food is coming from. And this takes us to community-supported agriculture. We are going to cut out agribusiness, we're going to cut out supermarkets, we're going to cut out production and transportation and all that stuff, and we are going to literally buy food from a farm. The idea is that people in the community subscribe to the farm, so when they have harvests, the food goes right to the people and you know what's going there. Farms will have events where they bring in the community, they will send out newsletters to talk about what's going on, and overall it's just a really good way to promote small organic farms. So that's basically it on organic farming and the appeal behind it. The fact is, there's a demand for it now, whether it be that we care about the animals, we care about the environment, or it just makes us feel better that we're eating, non-GMO food. Yeah, sure. And organic farming can take better care of the land through sustainable agriculture. And finally, the fact is, small farms are doing it because they can survive under the world of big agribusiness. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to make sure that you get updates for when new videos pop up. Also, I would recommend watching a video called Are GMOs Bad? Or the Pros and Cons of Organic Farming. I'll make sure to link it in the description because it talks about, is organic food really the answer, or is it healthier for you? And I think it definitely gets rid of some of the mysteries behind GMO food. And yeah, that's it. See you next time on Bear's Guide to a 5.
These are dark times, young Cuke.
What do you mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
For over 1,000 generations, organic food like us lived in harmony with the ways of the farm.
The farm?
Yes, Cuke. The farm is what gives us our power. It's a kind of a field that creates all edible things.
Wow.
But alas, the market has been taken over by the dark side of the farm. An empire of pollution and pesticides has ruthlessly conquered the market, nearly wiping out our organic birthright with unsustainable, short-sighted practices like genetic engineering, irradiation, and massive chemical pesticide use. Seduced by artificially lower prices, people don't even want to know where their food comes from. The true ways of the farm are now almost forgotten.
Huh?
But there is a new hope. A growing resistance called the Organic Rebellion is fighting back.
Tofu Ditu, where are you?
You must learn the ways of the farm if you are to join the rebellion and rescue Princess Lettuce.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Wow. Of course, you will need to find friends to help you on your way.
I'm Ham Solo, captain of the Millennium Scallion. I hear you're looking for a passage to the organic system.
Yes, indeed, if it's a fast ship.
Sure is, and I got the best co-pilot in the produce section. Chew broccoli.
There will be many dangers.
Watch out for those TIE fighters.
I see him.
Quick, they're headed for that small moon.
That's no moon. That's a melon.
The Death Melon!
That giant fruit threatens us all.
A little tall for an egg, aren't you?
Oh, the uniform. I'm Cuke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. I'm here with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Come on!
For luck.
Your path will not be easy, for you must confront the evil Lord of the Dark Side.
Huh?
Darth Tater. Tater was once a pupil of mine, before he turned to the dark side of the farm. He's now more chemical than vegetable, twisted and evil. He betrayed and murdered your father, Organican Skywalker.
Obi-Wan never told you about your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
That's really impossible.
Search your peelings, Cuke. You know it to be true. Join me, and together we can rule the supermarket as father and son.
No! I'll never join you!
Learn about the farm, Cuke. Help the rebels expose the dark side's technological shortcuts and their true costs. We must win this battle. Use the farm, Cuke. Stretch out with your peelings. It's up to you, Cuke. You're the rebels' last hope. Isn't that right, Yogurt?
Strong with the farm he is, but our last hope, Cuke is not. There is another. You! When the market you visit, you can keep your family and your planet safe from the dark side by choosing organic.
May the farm be with you, always.